about that? That's interesting. So what's all this?
That's very interesting.
I don't know if I want to be that up close to everybody. Oh gosh, there's people watching. Hi. Hi, folks. This is a live stream test. We've never tried this before. I'm showing 5 people watching, 10 people watching. Yikes. And it doesn't let me see messages or anything, so I have no idea. Oh, no. Hey, it's Scott and Denise. Hey, guys. How about that? It is showing me messages. Yikes. I had no idea that people would be on. Intuit Survival. I'm not familiar with Mac. I don't recognize that name. If you're one of our regulars, hi. Yikes. Rob's here. Yikes. Everyone's here. Gary's here. Wolf. Oh, there's Cheryl. George. Hey, howdy. Kevin, I had no intention for this working first. It's the first time I've ever tried this. So I don't know what to say except hi. And you can see my palette wall behind me. I made that out of pallets. I'm proud of it. Hey, Uncle. Good evening. Fuzzy. Thanks, George. Right beside you you're here in Habersham, huh, buddy? Well, you are right next to us. Send us an email at therevoltingman@outlook.com. We should hook up if you're right here in Habersham. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, brother? It's Dana. Hey, Miss Dana. How are you, ma'am? I'm gonna say hello all night long. Uh, so, gosh, let me see what's going on. We got 2 videos uploading right now. They're really long. Actually, Dana, I uploaded that one you asked us to do. I sat down and tried to do, and it got really, really long, like 22 minutes long. So we shot a second one on that same topic. And where's the camera at here? So I'm looking at you guys and not myself. That's the hard thing when you do these is you're always looking at yourself in the eyes, and you look weird on camera. So you try to remember to look at the camera, but your tendency is to keep trying to want to look at yourself in the eyes while you're talking. But anyway, I'm sorry, Biddy. So we shot a second one to be a little shorter and a little more concise, and it ended up getting to 10 minutes before I finally managed to reel myself in. So those are both uploading right now, so you can look for those. But video is very fuzzy. I'm sorry, I barely missed that one about the video being fuzzy. Hey, Alan, appreciate that, buddy. Zach hitting the big time. Dean's gonna give me crap no matter what I do. Thanks for keeping me honest, Dean. Spotchy, not too bad. I think it's your focus. Hey, Sugar Bear. It may be my hand. I'm jiggling. Let's try to hold it steadier. Anyway, so those are uploading right now, but I've never tried to upload a 22-minute video before. Very pixelated. Sorry, Michael. It may just be our really bad internet out here in the middle of nowhere. Hey, Al from Miami. We don't have great internet down here, and I'm on a wireless router. I don't have a camera on the desktop, and I don't know that I would use it if I did because I couldn't control what you could see. Much like the mildew on the outside of the house. I don't want to show everything. How cold down there? It's not too cold. Are you talking to me, Sugar Bear? It's I think it's in the low 20s right now. Yeah, you do. I appreciate you, Dean. I know you got my back. Oh wow, this is just way too close. Look, I got a bald spot in my. You never got to see that bald spot in my beard before. It's actually a scar from a motorcycle wreck, so it's actually manly. It's not just a flaw. Henry, okay, I see. Thanks, buddy. It probably is our bandwidth. Sub-zero in Pennsylvania? Yikes. I got a son up in Pennsylvania near York. I can't imagine. It's sub-zero up there. Yikes. So how's that global warming going for you guys? Sub-zero in Pennsylvania. And you know, 20 down here in northeast Georgia, we've had 2 snows by January 1st. That's ridiculous. Dog is doing good, Edward. We just gave him another shot. So that's the third. We're giving him 2 milliliters of penicillin. I know someone asked us not to do penicillin. I think it was Daniel. -9 in Minnesota. Jeez. Cheryl's lake is half thawed. But that's Texas, isn't it, Cheryl? Or aren't you in Texas? And your lake is half thawed? The dog is doing good, Edward. He had a big swelling on his back, and it's all gone down now, and it's starting to scab over, and it looks good. We finally cut that hair back. Like, yeah, Texas. I thought so, Cheryl. And the lake is half thawed. That's nuts. It's 9 in the foothills of North Carolina now. That's not that far from here. That's Mark. In fact, I was just up there in where was I? I had to travel for some work 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I was up in that area of North Carolina, Mark. But anyway, so the dog looks good. We're going to give him 3 more shots because we got, thanks, Steel Bullfrog, because we got six needles with the syringes, so we're going to go at 27 in Northeast Florida. Jeez, Henry. High 50s in Miami. I think that's pretty cold, right? Cheryl's at 54. Mariah just walked out to see what's going on. This was not planned. You want to say hi to Cheryl, Mariah? Not on it. Go Dogs. Thank you, Michael. We're excited about Monday night. We're only about 45 minutes north, or 45 miles north of Athens here, so we're dog fans. So anyway, 3 more. We're gonna give him 3 more shots of the penicillin and see how he does. But I expect him to be okay. Cheryl says hi, Mariah. 53 in California. Sugar Bear's 57. We used the hydrogen peroxide on him once, and the nice part about that is his fur around the wound is beautiful white, as clean as it's ever been now. So Steel Bullfrog's losing signal. Dana wants to know how Mariah's been. She's doing good. She had laid down to take a little rest before I turned this on, and she came out to see what fresh devilry I was into. So I think she's still trying to get. Sugar Bear, are you 40 or the temperature's 40? Anyway, so she's trying to get woke up right now. Maybe we'll be able to coax her on, but I don't think so. Gosh, 33 people are watching this. That's insane. Getting it 56. Whatever you need, if I can help, I am right here and respect your efforts. Thank you, Getting it. Oh, and now my battery's down 20%. Okay, Sugar Bear is 40. The temp is -5.
You could probably hook the charger up to the outlet right there.
Yeah, we may hook up the outlet. We'll see how long people stick with us. I didn't have anything interesting to say. Thank you, Biddy. Thumbs up. Mike Holland, that is cold. So what else can we talk about? Someone give me something. Intuitive wins. I'll go with that, George. Intuitive wins. I don't have a prize. We have one of the infamous no prizes from the old Marvel comics. Charge your battery. Okay, Joe. Thank you, Bruce. Cryptocurrencies. Okay, Mike. All right, let's do that. Let's talk about this. It's interesting. I was talking to a guy the other day, actually at my daughter's wedding. Her father-in-law is kind of a smart guy, and he really pays attention to the cryptocurrencies thing. And he invests in them, but he treats it a little bit like a day trading thing where he buys the dips and sells the highs and everything. And he says he's making insane money doing it. I believe he said he invested $1,000 and he turned that $1,000 into a 20. Mike, you're doing the same thing, trading, had a 3,600% return. That's what he said. But he says it's all going to crash and burn at some point. I can make money working, so I'm not even going to. Was that Tobacco Row? If that was Tobacco Row, that flashed by real quick. Hey, we haven't seen you in a while, but it's if that's you, it's good to see you again. But look, here's my thing. It exists on a computer, and it only exists on the computer. And obviously there's things I don't understand. I mean, I was shocked I could get on live streaming on my wife's iPhone. Hey, Tobacco, that is you. It's good to see you, buddy. We're going to be trying the tobacco again this year. In fact, I need to order the seeds. My last one failed. Mike, $900 into $33,000. That's about what he says. Magic Beast money. That is probably correct. Here, you know what? Here's the dog. Let me show you guys how the wound's looking. Well, the camera's. Oh, that's right. It's facing me. Toy, toy, toy. Orientation is locked. Yeah, it won't do it. But he looks a lot better. But here's the. If I can't hold it, I don't want it. Just saying. Yeah. Cryptocurrency is a false, intuitive. If you lose the internet, you lose all your money. Right. So this stuff exists on some guy's computer somewhere. What I don't understand now I understand day trading like Mark was talking about. Michael invests heavily in precious metals, 223. Nice, Mike. I understand day trading it because of people. I mean, I understand guys who bought and sold Beanie Babies back in the day. It just made sense if people are spending money on it and you realize that it's a bubble and you understand it. And now I'd get lost. I mean, I would end up losing my shirt. But as a long-term store of value or relying on this day in, day out, it exists. It doesn't exist. It's on a computer somewhere, and I don't gamble with anything I can't afford to lose, which is none. I'm right there with you, Cheryl. George said something about losing the internet and having bigger problems. I missed all of it. It isn't a buy and hold, and that's for sure. That's what Mike says. So Mike sounds like he's got his head on straight about this stuff. But the cryptocurrencies, for us Christians, here I go religious again, we know that cash is on the way out, and it's a scary sign for us. It means the bad times are coming. Doesn't mean they're coming right away. I mean, it could be hundreds of years from when it happens to where, the two things aren't connected directly. But we do know that, the end times there won't be any cash or selling land, real estate. Yes, sir. I agree. Hey, it's Act 609. How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Looking to start day trading and don't invest anything I can't lose. Hey, that Al's there. Invest in food, yes. What's up with the friendly neighbor dog shooter? Did you guys square that? I haven't gone to talk to him yet. I will at some point. We'll let the emotion die down a little bit and let me get my head wrapped around it and everything. And I want to have something to tell him. I want to have the dog fixed and the fence on the way before I go up there. Hey, Clancy is watching from Oklahoma. We might have to have Biddy check you out, buddy. Princeton University invests most of their endowment funds in timberland. That's interesting. Biddy's after you, Clancy. I hope you pass that test. So anyway, where were we? Cryptocurrencies. So as for us, we look at the cryptocurrency thing a little suspiciously to begin with. Sugar, hops, barley, and yeast. If money falls, just add water. But if you can make money in it, do it. It's not a store of value. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't know that gold is even really a store of value, to be honest with you. As far as I can tell. I mean, I'm sorry, I guess I should say it seems like gold is a store for value to get you through really. Hey, Boiler Room is here. How you doing, buddy? To get you through the hard times, right? But during the hard times, what's gold going to do for you? Nothing. It gets you on the other end, as far as I can tell. I mean, I live on a dirt road in Northeast Georgia. What I know about wealth accumulation isn't worth accumulating. Hey, Swamp Fox here. You're smart in checking your emotions. Thanks, Swamp Fox. You can't eat gold no more than crypto, right? At least maybe with gold you might be able to fashion it into a really bad knife or something. I don't know what you could do with crypto. But again, like Mike, if you're day trading it and making money and not losing your shirt and know what you're doing and not just gambling. Hey, Ox has got to check out. Good night, Ox. These comments are swinging by really, really quick. So gold's going to hit 3,000. 40th and where I go and visit 3 more prisons. What are you doing visiting prisons, Mike? So anyway, that's my take on the cryptocurrency. It's not real. It doesn't exist. It's not something you can set store in. But who am I? I'm nobody. I know nothing. Prison ministry. Oh, that's admirable, Mike. Gold is a rich man's game. Hey, Burden's here. What's up, Strong Horse? Strong Horse is one of our stalwarts. Have pirate magicians here. Good evening, pirate magician. Strong Horse is a constant source of encouragement. Hey, Henry, you're back. Bitcoin has crashed hard before. Yes, it has. It has. But like my in-law was telling me, he was up to $20,000 and he lost down to 13, but he only had 1,000 in it to begin with, so he's still playing with house money as far as he's concerned. Intuit invests in old coins. I love old coins just for how they look. I can make dozens of arrowheads for high-speed projectiles. Mike, I hope it crashes again so you can buy the dip. You can tell I read my zero hedge. Buy the dip. So there we go. What else we got, folks? We could talk about growing tobacco. Now that's a store of value. Now listen, let's talk about growing. I missed your comment there, David. It went by really quick. You want to talk about something that'll make you money in hard times? Tobacco. That's a trait. I don't use tobacco. I smoke the occasional cigar. Uh, but let everything, the lights go out, no one can get their cigarettes or their dip, and you have some tobacco growing. People will trade a lot for some tobacco if the time comes. Just speculating, but you talk about trade goods. Should I trade my bullets? Do I trade food, tobacco, and alcohol? Henry's a man of the world. Leaf, booze, and music. What leaf are you talking about, Dean? We could make some rope too, right? Cure some cancer. George is going to grow salt trees. Mike's thinking about getting the still. Axe grow weeds. Should always have some weeds or some seeds. I'm sorry. Dean says tobacco. All right, Dean. Just making sure. There's David. Check out the local pawn shops. They get silver coins in frequently and will sell at a spot price. And they frequently forget to update their prices. They'll get a coin in and they'll price it then, and then they'll just leave it in the display case, and they'll forget to go back and check it from time to time. Sometimes at places like that, you can find really good deals on silver coins, depending on where the price is at the moment. I used to watch, damn, low battery. Oh, uh, let's see, we got a charger around here somewhere. And I've seen some pretty good deals on some silver coins at antique markets. Coffee is a good store. How well does coffee store, Boiler Room? Does it last for a long time?
So,
In the end of the world, the man who has tobacco, alcohol, chocolate, something that I don't know about that doesn't exist.
like if you
Freeze wine to make whiskey. I have heard that before too. Tobacco, that you just let the water you scoop the ice out, and what's left behind is underground bean and mylar for a long time. Okay, so I guess you can store coffee in mylar. Local guns. It will if you get it in the number 10 cans. All right. Vacuum sealed coffee will last a long time. Green beans do store for coffee. Wait, green bean? Are you talking about green coffee? Surely you're talking about green coffee beans, right, Axe? Not like regular green beans to make coffee out of. Thank you, baby. I mean, that would be a great trick if it worked. But no, there's green bean coffee. You know what? That sounds like something some hipsters in some city somewhere would fall for. We should do that. Green bean coffee. Roasted beans release gas. Thank you, Axe. Tex, how you doing, brother? You can go chicory to make a coffee like I've read that before. I think I read that in a Louis L'Amour novel too. I think the vast majorities of the things I think I know about the old ways I learned in Louis L'Amour novels. Green bean giant does coffee. All right, so it's already been done. It would have been a great day. We could have made $1 million, folks. Yes, coffee beans. Sorry, Axe, I was having a little bit of fun. I'm really self-conscious now. Tex is the one who does these stream of consciousness shows so well, and now David buys old car batteries. A lot of them I can regenerate. These I can't be melted. These comets go by so quick. You won the lottery and got an AK. I'd have to win the lottery to get an AK, Tex. The only way I'd have enough disposable income to spend on that thing. I'm kidding. No, I get in more trouble with the AK. We just need to study how our forebears lived before electricity. Yes, Henry, that is the thing. How did that AR 15 turn out for you? I think we got it fixed, KV. I'm going to do an update on that at some point. I want to do a good one. Ever since YouTube changed the video editor, I just haven't felt like I could, do clips and get them smashed together. Mariah's figured it out though, and I think we're going to start doing it. The only thing we're waiting for is figuring out a way to get our intro back in. I love that music. So if we can get that intro back in and we can start doing the cue the intro Pastor Fox ripoffs again, is kind of what we're waiting for there. But I think the rifle's fixed. Give me a hard time on the AK. I know, Tex. Until you know what though? Hey, I watched those videos you suggested the other day, Tex, from Iraqi veteran, and I don't know if you saw my response, but I don't. I thought the AR did really well against the AK in his meltdown test. Ever get your root cellar built? Ooh, we are getting in all of my painful spots. The root cellar has not been touched since the last time I did an update on it. Except I was out there the other day looking around. Need a green screen, special effects, and some stunt people. Redux Dukes of Hazzard. Yep, that would be fun. The last time I went out there and looked at it, I realized I dug one corner really, really deep. So I've got to fill in that corner. So that's where that's at. I've started to fill it in. Civil War, South could not get coffee because of blockade, so they used chicory instead. It grows in most everyone's yard. You know what else they did during the Civil War, David? And I read this in some old letters that a local person had written back during the Civil War, and their ancestors had kept them. They were digging the dirt out of the smokehouses and boiling the dirt just to try to get some kind of. Louis L'Amour has my vote. Hey, Ogre Dad, thumbs up, buddy, thumbs up. How you doing, sir? Ogre Dad may have been with us. Ogre Dad's been with us a long time. I think WCAM may be one of the few people who've been with us longer than Ogre Dad. But they were. Sugar Bears actually had chicory. Said it ain't bad. Hey, William, we just talked about the dog. It looks like he's going to be good. He's in here, but I can't get the phone to show him. Or I'd show you the wound, but it's looking really good. Mark regularly adds chicory to coffee to stretch it out. But they were trying to get some kind of brine at least out of the dirt from the floor of the smokehouses where they would smoke their hams and whatnot. That's how hard salt was to come by. And of course, the salt is. Thanks, Tex. Thanks, William. Give dog some hugs from us. That dog, actually, my sweater is covered over in dog hair right now because I've been giving him aged whiskey in the root cellar. Hey, Chupa, how you doing, brother? Because salt is like impossible to live without. And in fact, that's why reading that letter is what made me got looking into salt. And if you've ever seen that old video of ours about hoarding salt, that comes from that letter I read where it was a woman writing to a cousin or something. He was serving in the militia down in Athens. Actually, he didn't get to fight, but he was down in Athens in the militia, getting ready to fight. This was towards the end of the war. And it didn't get bad around here till after the war. You know, the war never got to us here in Northeast Georgia. No reason for it to. My friend took and dug a hole. No, that comment went by too fast, Michael. I'm sorry. I grew up drinking chicory in South Louisiana. Sugar Bear, you can use it to keep. I'm assuming you're talking about the salt, Sugar Bear? The KV, the thing about the salt is not really as much for mineral purposes. It's for preserving food. It's very, very difficult to preserve food without salt when you don't have electricity. It can be done, but it's hard, especially meat. There's really not any way to preserve meat without salt. Salt pack meat. Yeah, Mike's talking. That's it. They would salt pack it. I missed all that about the 42nd Infantry text. I'm sorry. Yeah, the salt blocks at the co-op. Oh boy, these are going too fast, guys. I'm sorry. So. Yeah, salt's a big deal. I want to bury a C train and turn it into a shooting range. Okay, I was so confused at the time of that video. Obviously, I did not do a good eat as you kill. Salt blocks. Yeah, you would like to be able to eat as you kill. Boiler room. I know down here there's some of the old timers will tell you not to eat some of the stuff you kill through the summer because the parasites are more likely to be prevalent, whereas the winter, for some reason, I don't know why they say the parasites are killed back in the winter, but they are. Back when we still ate rabbit, I shot a rabbit one time in the summer, and while I was skinning it, something came out of its neck like predator style, and it actually was one of the last times I ever ate rabbit. My great-great-grandfather fought for the South 42nd Infantry of the Georgia Volunteers. Huh, that's interesting. 42nd Infantry. That sounds familiar. I may have seen that on a monument somewhere. Sugar Bear, yeah, worms and crap in human months. All the cannons were built here in Northeast Georgia. The plant, really? I did not know that, getting it. The plant is still here. You'll have to tell me about that. I didn't realize that. We're still talking about the salt blocks, Pirate Magician. Yeah, and there's a lot of salt in those salt blocks, too. My goal is to fill a 55-gallon drum when Papa Migto. We got a Migto guy in the house. Papa Migto, I'm uploading 2 videos about being a husband right now. You're probably going to hate me after that. Oh, Habersham Mills, Cannon Bridge. Well, boy, that makes sense. That is right up the road here. We were up there just a few weeks ago watching a movie. Hey, Tex, your ancestors are from Gwinnett County, huh? That's just south of here. Some of my kids actually live in Gwinnett County. It's always open season on Troy's. I missed something. Is there some drama going on? We've got a couple moderators in here. David's here, Dean's here, Biddy's here. You guys should be able to flag comments. I've got you guys set up where you can flag comments and they'll go dark on the regular page until I look at them. Okay, thanks, Biddy. The first freeze kills the worms that feed on them. I don't hate blue-pilled men. I'm a pro-man, pro-family. Thanks, Papa. Appreciate you not calling me a cuck. Keenan Ackworth. Do you accept cryptocurrency donations? As expensive as cryptocurrencies are, I might. Okay, David's on it too. All right. You know what? Now, Papa, I'm with you on that. I think young men do need to get warned. So many young men get ambushed by this system, and they get told if they. Howdy from Southwest Missouri. How you going, Common Sense Homestead? Common Sense Homestead. That sounds familiar. Do you guys have videos? It seems like I've watched some of y'all's videos before. Anyway, where was I going? I mean, this system ambushes young men. They think they can act a certain way and achieve a certain result. And of course, that's sort of men's default anyway. We want to know what we can do to earn what we want. And young men are told they act a certain way and they can earn the respect and love of a woman and have a marriage and everything. And then it turns out that doesn't work because that's not what women want. And then they end up getting angry and bitter. Hey, it's Insane Orange. I appreciate you letting us know how the Irish setter turned out. Or I was worried about it. I was like, you said the dog got shot with an arrow and that was just it, nothing else. I was like, what happened? Anyway, so I'm with you, Papa. I honestly believe, of course, I'm an old man now, but there's nothing more valuable right now than young men because there's not a lot of young men out there. And the ones we do have, we're tearing apart. If they're able to get through their youth without getting drugged out of their minds on ADHD medication, and then they're able to navigate puberty and get to young adulthood without all of the things that ambush young men these days. Then they start tearing them apart as soon as they get old, talking about how masculinity is toxic and all this stuff. Gin-centric suicide. Yeah, I think there's a lot of men who are eating themselves to death and drinking themselves to death. Biggest addiction, social media. I agree. Unfortunately, I'm on social media at the moment, so I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. So yeah, I agree, Papa. The young men and training young men and bringing them on and helping them out is one of the biggest things we can do because they are a vanishing commodity. And for a man with 7 daughters, I think young men, as older men, we really need to be looking for chances to mentor and bring along younger men and encourage them, because there's not many of them out there, and the ones and there's very few of them out there that are willing to have a job, that are willing to take on the responsibility of a family and to build something and contribute lasting. I know Tex is with us, and I know there's people who, I'm not saying you have to have a family and have children to be productive, but I'm saying for most of us, that's the that's the most obvious way for us to contribute, to be fruitful and multiply. Yeah, Ogre Dad says there's definitely a war on males. TV shows, commercials, laws are all against men. Yeah. Well, I've got a buddy right now from work who he's not a perfect man, but he's a decent man, good man. Loved his kids, worked hard. Oh, hey, David's back's better. Yeah, how is that, David? Are you gonna get the OD deaths are insane, Mike. Men are dying like crazy. And this guy tried to. Hey, Axe. Good evening, buddy. Thank you for stopping in. It's been 30 minutes already. He was trying to do the best he could. Had some faults, had some problems, but his he wasn't even his wife. It was his long-term legal wife. I don't believe government gets to define marriage, but there you go. They got they got in a spat, and she took out a restraining order on him. And the information we have right now, and that could change, but is that she would text him when she needed diapers or something, and he would buy diapers and take them to the courthouse, and she would pick them up from him at the courthouse. And apparently, the information we have right now is that she took one of those text message exchanges and got him thrown in jail for it. And he's been in jail for a couple of months, and looks like he has a couple more months left to go. And the plea deal they offered him was 5 years probation. And I mean, I don't know the exact details of the situation, but I know this guy, and I know his heart, and he's a good guy. And I guarantee you, if anything happened, the worst thing that happened is he got spun up one night and drunk, and he possibly, sent her some angry text messages, but that would have been the extent of it. We've all been there. David goes into surgery in the morning, Monday morning, to start the test of the spine stimulator. All right, David, we'll be keeping that in mind. No, I'm praying for you. David's got some back issues from a lifetime of work, and it looks like he's going to get some relief from them soon that is not opioid based, since we were just talking about that. Yeah, getting it served 28 days over text, a text message. And I bet I'm not going to ask you to tell what the text was, but I bet the text message wasn't even that bad. And, a month in jail. This guy lost his job. My buddy, I'm sorry, I was rambling. Lost his job. Looks like he's going to lose his house. By the way, the woman got to live in the house this whole time. So yeah, no, it's completely biased against the man. This guy was just trying to best could to do what he could, and look, here he is in jail for it. And I think this is in White County getting it. It might be in Habersham though. He lives not too far outside of Cleveland. Where are all these people going from floods and fires? Yeah, the homeless community seems on edge. And I was reading there's a lot of homelessness out there right now. It seems for some reason to be on the upswing, while they're telling us unemployment's at all-time lows and Dow's at 25,000. You asked about cryptocurrency. We were talking about cryptocurrencies earlier being a scam. Stock market seems like a scam to me right now. I mean, the thing has been on an uninterrupted upswing for how long now? 25,000, and it just recently hit 24,000. I know 1,000 points isn't a big deal anymore. If you get me his info, I will write and see about visiting if possible. Who are you talking to, Mike? Was that directed at me, or are you having a conversation? So anyway, yeah, Papa, I agree. The laws are completely stupid against men. I've experienced it myself. Yeah, in St. Orange, it has to crash soon. But some of these are going so fast I can't read them. Crypto is AI, AI is of the devil. We all need to move to Northeast Georgia. Yes, I agree. In fact, people talk about the Redoubt. Pastor Fox talks about the Ozarks over there. If you ask me, Northeast Georgia, actually Long Creek, South Carolina. I don't know. Some of you guys may remember a few years ago there was this idea floated out there that said guys were saying everyone should move to the western part. Oh, the red dirt. Yeah, Biddy. AT's in Georgia, baby. I'm there. Oh, yeah. Actually, the Appalachian Trail starts real close to here. We go up there every once in a while. There's a lookout off over where it's at. Put chat on slow. Oh, that must be some settings I'll look into that in St. Orange at some point. I didn't expect this to go, so I apologize. It's so ad hoc. Stop advertising Northeast Georgia. I like not having neighbors. That's why I'm talking about Long Creek. Long Creek's right across the river in South Carolina. And a few years ago, there was this idea, and I don't remember who floated it or even how long ago. It may have been 20 years ago, where everyone was going to move to western South Carolina and try to influence elections. Slow is 1 comment per minute. Yeah, you're right, Boiler Room. It is crowded. It is impossible to get too far away from people out here. Cheryl has a cabin for sale. Must pass felony background check. Lakefront gated in Texas. If anyone's looking for a cabin, actually, I can't even live in the city anymore. So much BS with homeowners associations. Biddy likes her dirt. Mike's asking about your cabin, Cheryl. Anyway, they were going to move out to the Long Creek area, western South Carolina. Beautiful foothills, fertile, great climate, just gorgeous area. A lot of apple orchards. the lowest gas prices. Yeah, Ozarks are nice. Some felons are the best folks you'll ever meet. That's actually true, Boiler Room. Uh, so if anyone was asking my opinion, where do we go? I say Northeast Georgia, Long Creek area, because look, you can get out. I know what Boiler Room is saying. Move to the north, lots of firewood. But you can get close to most of South Carolina is gone. Understand that. What do you mean getting it? You can get to jobs up around Greenville. You can get down towards Atlanta and get some jobs if you want. There's decent jobs around here, but you can also be out in the country and enjoy all those benefits. Climate is very hot in the summer, but it's very, very survivable. The growing season is almost 9 months, literally not. In fact, we have stuff in the garden right now. Even through this cold, we got kale and collards, and the broccoli may have gotten frozen. Hey, KV, KV Mollies, thanks for stopping in. Have a good night. It's been bought. I see what you're saying. Getting it, yeah. There's a good chance a lot of it's been bought. I haven't looked in a while. But great area. Please post a full vid later. I will see how to do that, KV. Like I said, I've stumbled into this. Nova Corps Blue grew up in North Carolina, great state, but settled in Maine. I remember we talked about that. You're the guide, right, Nova Corps? The hunting guide. I sometimes when we have these, email conversations, I was just thinking about it went by too. Okay, thanks, Nova. Born on the Water. Hi, Born on the Water. How you doing, bud? At the Virginia border. The north border or the south border, Mike? If you've communicated with me through email or even on the Facebook page, and then I can't always keep the screen names on YouTube straight with the names I get in email and on Facebook, so I apologize about that. But Nova Corps sent us a picture of his family, beautiful family. They're all there with guns. The little girl's got the pink BB gun. I don't want to give up North Carolina, north of Raleigh. I used to go that way when I was going back to Quantico. I would go up, cross into Petersburg. But beautiful family. If anyone wants to go hunting in Maine, let us know. We'll hook you up with Nova Corps. Nova Corps Blue is Did you tell me if you were a Navy veteran or something, Nova? Is that what that Navy Corps Blue is all about? Mike will be in Newkirk, Oakland, end of the month after I harvest honey. You harvest honey? One of my little side projects I do is make mead. Okay, no. All right. Go Dogs. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, you're right. I would do a bark, but kids are sleeping. Mike's a beekeeper. That is one of the things I want to add up here and want to learn how to do. Camp Swampy. I went through the swamp. I did my time in the swamp. I'd like to go back at some point and visit. I haven't seen it since I left boot camp in 1995. I don't even know if they let you do tours or not. I bet they let you on Fridays for the $5,000 each for houses, David? Contract security stooge till I retired, became a guide. That's right. You told me that. 81. What's 81, Cheryl? I may be reading private conversations. Don't worry if it's a private conversation. I don't need to get your business out there. $5,000 house. Wow. And it's not in Detroit. Oh yeah, that's right. Paris Island, Cheryl. I knew you were 80. Okay, 81. I got you. I'm on board now. I don't know if I should tell this story or not, Cheryl, but when I was in Paris Island is the only place where female Marines go through boot camp. Male Marines can go through San Diego and Paris Island. And of course, you don't see a woman for forever. And so whenever we would see the female recruits, it was a big deal, although we weren't allowed to look at them. But I don't know what they were thinking. Stop interrupting other people's conversations on your live chat. Sorry, George. They had us go through swim qualification with a female platoon or company, I guess, or series, or I don't remember. And when you failed the swim qual, they would pull you out of the pool and they would make you strip out of your camis right there down to your PT gear. And we had the little Hooters girl shorts and t-shirts. And coming out of the pool, you stripping off your camis down to that little PT gear, it's clinging to you. We weren't allowed to look at the men. We weren't worth looking at. So when they pull those poor, we call them WMs. I don't know what the right term is now. I'm sure there's some political. Well, they pull them poor WMs out of the pool, and they'd make them strip their camis off right in front of us, down to those little Hooters girl shorts and T-shirts, wet, soaking wet, clinging to them. Man, we Hollywood Marine. Hey, I know, David. We did have no WMs. Chigger Island, yeah, Chigger Islands. Ranger panties, yeah. We called them our tactical Hooters girl shorts but I think I did hear people call them Ranger panties too. So I don't know what they were thinking, making those women strip down in front of us like that. But it was the thrill of boot camp, was that swim qual where we got to see those women. Biddy. Yeah, I'm not even gonna address that. That was psychological warfare. It was a nice little break. Anyway, so there you go. That's my WM story, Cheryl. I probably shouldn't have shared that one. Gosh, 37 people, 37 likes. This is awesome. We're going to have to try to do this some more. You're alive. Hey, Savage. Yeah, we were trying it out. Didn't know if it would. I'd never tried it before, and it short arms attention. This one's going to haunt us the rest of the night. Where's Dean? This sounds like something he'd get in on. Yeah, I couldn't resist. Savage, I was just trying to see if it would work, and I went live, and I wasn't expecting to, and so we're just trying to have a conversation at the moment. So forgive the amateur hour here. So anyway, where were we at? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, last time I remember we were at Long Creek, and all Long Creek sold out. You climbed the stairway to heaven and humored Mount. All the little Marines jumping up there, Yardine. I thought for sure you'd want to get in on that. Oh, David, you were in the middle of Hollywood. That's all you saw was sailors having a visitation? I had a bunch of comments just scroll through real fast, guys, and I think I missed some folks. I'm sorry. Hey, I've got a Yugo Papin. I lost that. Whoever was just talking about the Yugo Papin 223, if you don't mind, send that again, and I'll try to read it. Okay, so Rob was one of those who I just missed who went through. Hey, Rob. Glad you're here. I hated swim qual. Yeah, I failed. I had to go back. Well, I didn't fail. I guess I did fail. There was like a certain level the infantry guys had to get past, and I didn't get to I passed the regular thing everyone had to get to, but then there was another level the infantry guys had to get through, and I failed that. I had to go back during mess and maintenance week and pass my swim qual. Yugo Pap that takes AR-15 mags. I am not familiar with that at all, Michael. I'm assuming is it an AK based thing and it takes the AR mags? Mount. Okay, I see. Yeah, I've heard about that myself, and I've never even been to San Diego. We used to get a lot of crap from the Hollywood guys about the mountains and versus the flatland. So it's an AK-47 that takes AR mags and shoots 5.56. Well, that addresses all of my problems with the AK. My thing with the AK for North Americans is that it doesn't address all of my problems, but it addresses most of them. Mossberg bolt action rifle. I am really interested in that one, Novacore. I would like to get my hands on that. The Mossberg that takes the AR mags. Great for hunting. Yeah, we won't address that one about the swim qual. My problem with the AK, I have a lot of problems with the AK, but the only one that makes sense, most of them are emotion driven, is in North America, it's the magazines and the ammunition aren't going to be available if things ever really got really bad. Yeah, I've always liked that Kel-Tec SU-16. I thought that was a really good option. So if any rifle that took those AR mags and the 5.56, I would actually have to shut up and stop downing it, because from a logistical standpoint, they meet the standard. Although I will still say, if anything breaks, the parts and everything are still available for the AR. But don't get the Mossberg in 5.56. It has too many failures to fire. A primer issue. It does fine in 223. I think I remember Ogre Dad telling us he tried that one out, and you went back to the Mini 14, right, Ogre? Or you switched from that to the Mini 14? Novacore, after being shot at way too many times by an AK and never hit, I am sticking with my AR. And Dean agrees AR is still more flexible. Boiler room is mini. I have a mini 30 boiler room, and I really like it. Uh, if I, well, I mean, I was about to say something stupid. If I was going to have 762, it'd be in the mini 30, and I do have the mini 30. So I like the mini 30. I think it's. I like the mini 30 and the mini 14 actually. I think they're both really good options. Rob likes his mini 14. Is the one you have with you? Yeah, you're right, Mike. Uh, Boiler room sold his AK. I've never had one. I've shot them. Michael's working on building an AR. What are you building, Michael? Sounds like someone was in the sandbox. M1 Garand ones, yeah, into it. The M1 Garand's an amazing weapon. Seriously, I'm building a 5.7 1022. Oh my God, whoever's building the 5.7 1022, send that message again because I just caught that first line and that is awesome. I have never even thought of that. M14, love the M14. I agree, Dean. If the Ruger used AR mags, of course, you know what? It's not cheaper than the AR anymore. It used to be that you'd have the mini for $500 and an AR was $1,500, $1,000. Boiler Room has a SIG M400 as an AR platform, beautiful gun. Not familiar with that one. Viva Mexico. Hello, Felix. How you doing, brother? What is a PTR, Rob? Building it out of a 1044 carbine. All right, getting it. You're going to have to show me that one. Manda saludos. I'm not sure what that means, Felix, but glad to have you with us, brother. Because a 1022 and 5.7 has got to be. Why is that not a thing? I don't know why Ruger's not making that. That's stupid. That should exist. That's an amazing idea. All right. Of course, you could only use the 20 round magazines from the pistol, I guess. Okay, yeah, 5.7, it holds 20 round mags. That PTR went by real quick. I didn't get to catch it all. All right, blessings, Mike. Good night. Thanks for checking in, buddy. Good night. Hello, good night. Felix, saludos, buenos noches. Is that like very good evening? Whatever it is, we're very glad to have you. Thank you. Mondo saludos means hi, everyone. Okay. Hi, Felix. Ruger's been coming out with all kinds of new guns. Something might be brewing. Yeah, I've really liked the direction Ruger's been going. I've always been a Ruger fan. My giant revolver that everyone tells me I have to conceal is Ruger. Yeah, I want to see it too, Richie. Actually, if we're able to hook up, we're going to try to talk them into letting us do a video on that one because that sounds awesome. Hey, Novacore, good night, brother. Thank you. The chat went bilingual real quick. Yeah, you're building this, getting it, not Ruger, right? Born on the Water has a 6mm Ruger. Who let the dogs out? Biddy. Biddy let the dogs out. Suppressed 44 Magnum bolt action Ruger. That's cool. Gun fan says K Royo. Okay, he's probably talking to Felix. Pet Me has a 8mm Mauser, crate round, crate rifle. Boiler room woof. Hey, into it. Good night, brother. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, we're gonna get up with getting it and try to get a video done on this rifle he's working on because I love this idea. I've been interested in the 5.7 since it came out, and kind of followed it a little bit. But usually, anytime I like something, you can tell it's not going to make it. My favorite revolver round, which is my favorite pistol round, is the 41 Magnum. Richie runs an AR and 338 for long range. Hey, Richie, what's that 338 cost per round? That's the Lapua, right? I love the 41 mag, but it's impossible to find and it's expensive. And then I love the 357 SIG, but again, it's just expensive. Off to get late night snacks. Hey, Boiler Room, thank you for checking in, sir. Enjoyed seeing you. PTR 91, HK 91. Okay, it's the German G3. That's an expensive weapon, isn't it? $5 to $6 a round? Michael, are you saying that the 338 Lapua is $5 to $6 a round? Yikes. I still want one. I mean, it's worth it, but wow. That'd be hard. My builder has full license in Miami. I have done laid it out, and it's almost the same length as a 44 mag. Gut knock, you leaving us, David? Premium, okay, premium ammo. Yeah, for $5 a round, I hope so. Still, I mean, it's worth it. I've read good things about that 338. Ogre Dad had to duck out. What is your video record and edit situation? Is it all on your phone, or do you have a computer or web? It's all on the phone. We got Mariah an iPhone 300 WinMag. I didn't see that. 300 WinMag. God, now I've completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, we do all the recording on Mariah's got an iPhone 5, I think, or an iPhone 6. I think it's a 5. And that's what we've done, and it seems to work real well for us. We're going to start trying to do some of the editing on this iPhone now that we've kind of figured out. She found a program. It's an Apple program called iMovie, and she says it works. T&W has their ASR pistol caliber rifle is an 80% kit for $400 shipped to your door. Multi-caliber and takes Glock mags. Huh. Oh, okay. David's just saying goodnight to those who are leaving. Oh, and Ogre Dad, I remember that, Ogre Dad. We were talking about, you got that gun sight rifle in 308, which another... Hey, Jimmy D. Wow, everyone's here. How you doing, brother? The gun sight in 308, which I haven't got to shoot it, but, you know, that's Jeff Cooper's, help me out here, somebody. What did he call it? That whole concept, scout rifle concept. Well, Biddy's here, Jimmy's here, Dean's here, and David's here. We've got all of our moderators save one. William Stanley's not here. That's the only one we're missing. But you guys don't know it, but those people my best friend gave me one your friend gave you one? That's a heck of a friend, Michael. These guys do a heck of a job behind the scenes on the comment section. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You know what the Ruger Scout rifle. Thank you, Michael. What sets this channel apart more than anything is the comment section, and a lot of that has to do with those folks. Biddy Boo. Hey, William. Is this William Stanley? It just says William. I don't know if it's William Stanley or not. These guys, Biddy Boo, David Burden. Oh no. Okay. Well, that's right. We're still glad to have you, William. Biddy Boo Brown, David Burden, Dean Goldberry, which it took me forever to get that. I actually never got Dean Goldberry until he pointed it out to me. And Jimmy D, and then William Stanley. If you're ever talking to those guys, they're real close to us. And I don't like speak for us or anything, because only I can do that. But you're talking to the inner circle there. They're our moderators. They watch the board for us and make sure. I actually asked Ogre Dad to be a moderator, but he never responded. Only need to be able to shoot it a few times, but great. Want to hunt pig this late summer. So if you're interacting with them, you're interacting. Hey, Jimmy, you're interacting with basically with the channel. Going to get a Savage 308 next summer. Savage makes a great rifle. I didn't get your request. I think I just told you one. I talked about it in. Oh, Ogre is a moderator. I did not. Okay. So Ogre Dad's a moderator too. I knew I'd wanted him to be at one point, but I couldn't remember if we got it done or not. Thanks, Biddy. Look at that. I have not been giving Ogre Dad the credit he was due all this time. Yeah, he has a wrench. Oh, I didn't realize that's what the wrench meant. Huh? How about that? There you go. Now I see the wrench neck. Hey, Chief's with us. Chief Likeable here. Here's another one. Dean Goldberry and Chief Likeable. I didn't pick up on the jokes in their name for forever. And Chief finally pointed it out there. Or maybe Mariah pointed out Chief's to me, and Dean had to just tell me his. Dean Goldberry. Didn't get it. That probably tells you a lot about me, but now I chuckle every time I see it. Hey, George is leaving us. A Bitcoin Cash wallet address. All right, George, I'll look into it. Hey, Jimmy D. I know Jeff Cooper was real involved with Gunsight. I think maybe he did start it, or he retired there or something. The 6.5, is that the Creedmoor, Ogre Dad? I like the 6.8. I know about the 6.5, but I just don't It went over my head till now. Me too, Biddy. I didn't get it until someone pointed it out. And now every time I see it, I can't stop laughing. Dingleberry. Chief likable. Of course, the chief is always doing the wordplay stuff. He always cracks me up. Alrighty. My Savage Model 10 and 308 rules. I am not familiar with the Model 10. I probably should be. What else we got? Precision is now available in 7.62 by 51. Yeah, Ogre, the gun sights, the scout concept was Jeff Cooper. 1,000 yards equals move out west. It's a mission. You succeed very well, Chief. You succeed very well. How are your daughters doing? Not sure about the Nevada range. All right. Where was I before I got distracted? We were talking about something. We were talking about the AK and my problems with the AK-47. But not my emotional driven ones. I mean, no, it's late. We're talking to the core. Oh, Rob has to go. Oh, good man, Rob. Go get her, buddy. The 6.5 is becoming popular. Is that the Creedmoor, the 6.5 Creedmoor, or is that some other 6.5? AK fixed. The only way I know to fix an AK, I don't know if Tex is still with us. Are you still with us, Tex? We can discuss the only way to fix an AK. It pretty much involves burying it. Oh yeah, Creedmoor. Jimmy D likes the Model 10. That's a resounding endorsement right there. Melt the AK. My problems with the AK are manifest. But the big one, the only one that really is relevant if I'm talking to someone who, the 6.5 Grendel, that's what I was thinking of, Richie. That's when they were back talking about the 6.8 SPC. They were also talking about the 6.5 Grendel. That's right. They make good shovels. But if you're talking to an AK fan, the only thing that will really penetrate the brain pan is, William likes the AK, is the logistic supply issue. You know, the vast majority of the ammo is made overseas, and that supply can get cut off in a heartbeat. The magazines, magazines are what, Grendel is 5.56 brass. I think I knew that. 6.5 and 55 Swedish Mauser. I've heard a lot of good things about that one. Magazines are the great weak point, the great Achilles heel of any semi-automatic rifle. Cheers from Portland, Oregon. Checking in and showing support. Hey, Sky 5D, you got to. I was looking at that one video, brother. Ruger made a 6.9 and a 6.9, 2,000 plus. If you well, then it doesn't matter because I'll never be able to afford one. You have to explain to me what you're doing over there, brother. Something about the weather and the atmosphere, but I wasn't able to pick up on the. Yeah, Ogre Dad hits it on the head. I wasn't able to pick up on the main gist of it. But the ammo and the magazines, those can get turned off in a heartbeat, whereas the ammo and the magazines for the AR are always going to be available. And everyone talks about the durability of the AK. I disagree. The AK is it's easy to remediate. If something goes wrong, you hit it with a hammer and you can get it to fire again and go bang for a little while. But long term, the AR is more reliable over time, especially when you factor in the ammo, because most of the ammo is made in overseas, and it's poor quality, poor manufacturing tolerances. And when you combine the very low number of problems you'll have out of the AK platform with the number of problems you'll have out of the cheap AK ammo, you actually are going to end up with more failures to fire than you will out of an AR. And most ARs will last for a longer round count than the AK. Yeah, I'm sorry, Biddy. I don't mean to be boring you. It's got to do with the grand solar minimum and the collapsing magnetosphere that I'm documenting in the cosmic rate. I wasn't able to finish all that, Sky, but this is a big deal. The grand solar minimum, and William runs a 20-inch AR. I'm big on that 20-inch barrel, William. I think that is key. 7.62 by 54 Mossy. Is that a Mosin Nagant or a Mossberg, Wolf? Grendel here from Richie. I think this is going to be driving a lot over the next couple of decades, this grand solar minimum. David knows Biddy shoots. So yeah, 20 inches a must. It's extreme weather changes. That's what's going to say hits the fan. And I agree with you, Sky 5D. There was a bunch of social unrest back in 1848 that was driven by similar stuff, and it led to a big, huge series of revolutions, a bunch of mass migrations. It had massive effects. Biddy shoots the 22 and a 9 millimeter. The Irish potato famine was involved, and then it's when a bunch of the last monarchies, true monarchies in Europe fell. The Austrian Empire, the Holy Roman Empire fell, the Habsburgs and all that. So yeah, Sky 5D, I think Cheryl's still with us. That's good. Is Tex gone? Did Tex top? Did Tex leave without saying? Yeah, 1848. Look into it. Born on the Water. It is very, very interesting. There's a really neat podcast called Revolutions, and he talks about all these different upheaval times in history, and it's really interesting. Weather seems to have a lot to do with all of them, including the French Revolution, 1848. Weather swings and. Hey, William, the AR in platform in 9 millimeter is an amazing little carbine. For what it's designed to do, you can't beat it. SIG makes a really good MPX that I've got to handle a little bit that I really liked. But I think the AR in 9 millimeter is a great option for a lot of things. 300 blows it away. Oh, Dean, we finally disagree on something. I'm so sorry. I tried to read that, getting it, but I lost it. So anyway, yeah, there's a couple of stories I think are going to drive the narrative in the next couple of years. One of them is the solar grand minimum and the weather change. The other is antibiotic resistance. That's going to be huge. That's going to change everything. Oh, we're losing people. We're down to 27 people. That may be a sign. But it's just getting interesting. We're just finally talking about the fun stuff. And this weather change and the solar grand minimum, and then antibiotic resistance. These to me are the really big threats faces, because antibiotics are game changers. I mean, just look at this. If you saw the dog, when his wound blew way up. I mean, it looked like a softball underneath his skin. Well, let's say a baseball. I'm giving it a little bit of hyperbole. And I've given him 3 penicillin shots over 3 days, and it shrunk down to almost gone. Now it's just like a little bit of tiny swelling. GunFan is a virologist in training. So here I am running my mouth about things I don't know about, and there's an expert in the room. What do you think, GunFan? Is antibiotic resistance a thing, or is it prepper porn? But that penicillin was a miracle drug. I mean, it shrunk that thing down in 3 days to almost nothing. And if that stops being effective, elective surgeries are a thing of the past, which, I mean, that may not be a bad thing. GunFan says no, it's a thing. But minor cuts become deadly. Someone said something about text me, and it ran by real quick, and I didn't see that. If you'll send it again, I'll take a look at it. Oh, yeah, David wants the P90. He's a man with superb taste. Where were we? Oh, yeah. So, things like an appendix. Tactical Rifleman has a comparison between 9 millimeter and 300. That went by too quick as well, Dean. Sorry. Tractor Supply, Oxtella, so cycling. An appendicitis could kill you. The surgery to get your appendix taken out could kill you. Minor surgeries all now start having the risk for untreatable infections. So yeah, I think that's going to be a giant deal, of course. And then of course the third one, I'm actually doing. I shouldn't be telling you guys this because I was about to do this video. The third one is population decrease, and what that's going to do, and it looks like that's about to really start hurting us here in America. The regular people, the hoi polloi, World War II was fought with, with iodine. You have to explain that one to me, Born on the Water. Just you mean having iodine was an advantage because we could treat wounds? We're starting to see baby boomers and Gen X's and millennials. Our death rates are staggering right now. It's really really crazy. And when we're seeing, like, even at my work, I'm 42. We do where I work. Born on Water. I got a big bottle. Yep. We do a physical construction work with. It's a very physical job, and we can't get young men to stay in there at 42. I'm one of the younger guys there. We have a few younger guys, but the vast majority of us are in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and you can't get young men to come in and do this work. And that's going to accelerate as the culture turns more and more against men, and men more and more clock out of it, and more of them just die from obesity and drugs and alcohol and real suicide and stupid crime, because they're looking for some excitement and some meaning, and sulfa powder was an asset as well in World War II. Is that sulfur powder, David, or is sulfa powder like sulfur powder, just with a name, different name? It does feel like we are getting fumigated. Is this the chemtrail stuff? 38 and 308. I like 38. I carry a 357 right now. I have it loaded with 357s, but I'm known to put 38s in it. Dean, we had a 25-year-old quit Thursday because he broke a nail. we had a guy about that age quit a few months ago because he didn't like climbing the ladder, and these were 6 foot and 8 foot step ladders, but he couldn't climb the 6 foot, 8 foot step ladder. I think we have some 10 and 12 foot, but I mean, we're talking about step ladders. Chemtrails. I don't know what I think about the chemtrails. I have replicated DNA via PCR reaction. That one went too quick, Gunfan. I'm sorry. Skies 5D says chemtrails are the least of our worries. Highly charged cosmic radiation and electromagnet, and it went away. Well, highly charged I don't like the chemtrails. Sugar Bear doesn't like chemtrails. I just had to fly up to Baltimore a couple of times last week to take my son back home. Sulfonamide. American soldiers were issued a first aid kit containing sulfa pills and powder and were told to sprinkle it on any open wound. Okay. That's interesting. Too many holes busted in our ozone layer. Hey, Tobacco Rose, is this still the chemtrails? I'm a retired carpenter. I know what you mean. Oh, yeah, about the young men not wanting to do the work. Ionosphere. They're very, very real, but they're not as deadly as we're led to believe. Millions of people partake daily in sky sport enthusiast activities around the world, up to 18,000 feet. Well, that's what I was going to say. I was just in these airplanes. Like, had to take a flight to Baltimore, back to Baltimore, to Baltimore, back to Baltimore. How will that affect gardening? Are you talking about the solar grand minimum, Cheryl? As far as, okay, yeah, yes, she is. So for you down in Texas, it means that you'll get to grow some crops that don't normally do so well down there. You go farther north, and it greatly shortens the growing season. So it can havoc with your food supply because your last freeze date might be 2, 3, maybe even a month later, and your first freeze, I was 2, 3 weeks maybe. And then your last freeze might be 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month earlier. So in some places where you're already dealing with a 4 month growing season or a 5 month growing season, now you're down to 3 months or 4 months, and you can't start getting a second crop in or do crop rotation. And it for the small farmer like me and like you, obviously in Texas, it won't have much effect at all. But for the big guys, the guys there in the Midwest, and in those farther western, northern places where they grow so much food, so much grain and corn and stuff, it could really take a hit on them. Especially, farmers are struggling again. So it could have a big effect on the food supply, Cheryl. We'll see. In 1848, when this happened, what ended up the result was that it took an entire year. All of your inflation on food was so high that all you could do was buy food with your wage. There was no money. People didn't have any money left over. Now, this was in Europe. This wasn't here in America. But in Europe, the inflation was so high on food prices that all you could do was buy food. You couldn't pay rent. You couldn't buy clothes. You couldn't pay for heat or buy fuel or any of that. All you could do was buy food, and not that much food, because it was. And then there came a point where you just couldn't find it. There was no food. Biddy had that went by real quick. Biddy. Yeah, Ferdinand. The solar grand minimum is, I believe, 2030 is kind of when it's supposed to really hit. But it could have a big impact, in a world with just in time and everything's, the margins are razor thin down to just, that went by real quick, Sky. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to see it. Nanite aluminum in them, and it is keeping them from absorbing needed water. Huh, that's interesting. And then there's this dicamba stuff, and then farmers are struggling anyway because their margins are so thin, and everyone's getting it to do with chemtrails is complete speculation. One of the chiefs, yeah, that went by too quick. Aluminum lets me mow the lawn less often. Can I flip this? Nope. There's just not a lot of wiggle room in our food supply. I lost that last one. Yeah, Ferdinand, you're exactly right. People have got to learn to grow their own foods. It was 18 below zero here just a couple nights ago. Wind chill was negative 36. That's amazing, David. William, it's getting scary out there. You should be able to scroll, sir. Oh, look at that. I can scroll. Wow. Thank you, Joel. That's good to know. I might spend too much time scrolling, and then there'd be a lot of, because I have a single track mind. I mean, if I'm doing one thing, I got to stop everything else. Chief's laughing at me. Well, someone's got to be funny. Chief, you haven't said anything funny yet tonight. Yeah, you're right, Michael. Land is the best investment. It has always been the best investment. Will always be the best investment if you can carry the tax cost, the tax burden, and a slow motion combo button that will slow the activity down just a little bit. I'll have to look for that, Sky. I'm not going to try to do it on the fly here. Buffering hard too, and I have unlimited access. Thanks, Joel. Okay, Dean. It's getting late. So anyway, where were we? What do you call a cow without legs? Ground beef. Nice. Tax on land. Yeah, they're trying to, thanks, but you could give me my thought back. And there's Jimmy. You guys are trying to distract me again. And Dean just woke up. Oh, yeah, because of what Dean said. Yeah, they're trying to make it impossible to own land because they make the tax burden so high, because they know, I mean, land, and throughout history, if you owned land, you were semi sufficient, and they don't want you to be semi-sufficient. It's shower month. Oh, this is the month you take your shower, Sky? To Dean. What are the dot speakers, David? That's not bad at all, Biddy. Wow, that's less than mine on 2.4. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you, Sky. Good evening, bud. Lean beef. So yeah, land's the investment if you can hold it. The problem is holding it these days. Anyway. You guys all stay lifted. You too, brother. Okay. $58 for 202 acres, gun fan? Yeah, you're right, William. Michael, all politics. That's true, Michael, and especially taxes. Hydroponics and aquaponics. It's a beautiful thing, Chief. Uses a lot of power because you got to run those pumps. Well, you can generate that electricity. It's not like it's impossible, but for us trying to go off grid, I looked at it, and I still may do it because I love that symbiotic relationship. But you do have to be able to run a pump to pump the water up out of the fish tank in windowponics. You'll have to tell me what that is, Tobacco. The water has to come up then into the grow beds, and then you have to aerate the water, which you kind of need a fountain or something. I don't know how it does outside. I know you can put some of the fish tanks outside, but I think most of the plants are inside in greenhouse type things. Uh, but there's a lot on YouTube about aquaponics. It's a great idea. I really like it. I think it should be. But it should be a mainstream thing. I mean, we should grow food that way. Uh, yeah, I don't think it's a self-sufficiency thing though. Bicycle generator. Hmm. I don't know what Jimmy's laughing at. It's weed plants growing under large windows. No power needed. Born on the water, taxes are up 33%. Built a small. Hey, it's Rat Route. How you doing, brother? Yeah, I think he's going to be fine. He's over here somewhere. I just every time I try to turn the camera around to show him, it tells me that orientation can't be flipped. Still in him, and it's looking good. In fact, one of my daughters and I just did it right before we got on this live chat. Uh, anyway, it's good to see you, Rat Route. I think PC James and I are supposed to go to a gun show together. Wild edibles. Patty, I looked into that, and it is a really good thing, and it should be a part. But you got to remember how little of that. I shouldn't say little of that stuff, but once you start eating it regular, you're going to wipe yourself out around your house real quick, and you've either got to be a hunter gatherer and just keep moving, or you've got to have something else. But it's a real good supplement. It's a wonderful skill to have. Hey, Rat, we weren't planning on doing this. I was just trying to see how it worked, and it went live on me, and then a couple of guys popped in, and it's been fun. Wild cabbage works well for pain. I have to figure out what wild cabbage looks like. And it went by too quick. Oh, wait, that's right. I can scroll. Amazon Echo Dot, second generation. They listen to and record everything said in the house. They are getting marketed as the new fad. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Cheryl only has mesquite trees and cactus. Can't you eat cactus, Cheryl? Tobacco Row has winter tobacco growing under window on this channel. Wild cabbage. Right, okay. Start sharpening your teeth. Everyone likes you getting it. You've got that really cool Ruger you're working on that we're all very interested in. Or are you talking about Habersham? You're not talking about the channel. I thought you were talking about the channel. You're talking about Habersham. Yeah, hey, well, down here Habersham was our main football rival for so long. It didn't matter what we did as long as we beat Habersham. And we usually beat Habersham. Just saying. Yeah, me too, Ogre, because Mariah and I have had conversations about something. Just like, oh, we talked about getting this or that. And then we'd start seeing ads for it on the channels, on the YouTube and on other things. And we don't have anything like that. So our phones are listening to us and recording what we talk about and then trying to put it in front of us. And I don't think that's tinfoil hat crazy. Stevens County Indians asses. It's funny getting it. We lost to Rabun County this year, though. I mean, that's like unheard of. Yeah, Siri is listening. Rabun County is like a 2A team or something, and they spanked us. Distracting you with boob. Buffering bad here. Sorry, Jimmy. It's probably just my the teeth was about to misquote mesquite trees for food. William doesn't own a cell phone. I would like to get to that point, William. I'm not there yet. I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty attached to mine, and yeah, getting it. That's all right. We're gonna be on the same team Monday night, getting it right. We better be on the same team, getting it Monday night at least. Where was I? Oh, I forgot. I was saying something. Oh yeah, I've started trying to restrict no cell phones since 2002. Well done, Chief. You think they can win it, getting it? I hate to say this. until Saban loses, he's the he's the top dog. We'll see. Anyway, we don't need that. That's inside baseball. Obviously, we're talking about the national championship game Monday night. Cops now have what is called a Stingray device, which can steal all of your contacts, turn on your speakers, microphone, and camera. It's all dogs. Protege has his number. We'll see. I hope so. Hey, David, do you know, do they need technically, in theory, do they need a warrant to use that and turn it on? I tell you, when I used to be an account manager for a rent-to-own company, which means a repo man, and we had this software we would install on the laptops when we rented them out that would let us take control of the laptop and turn on the camera in Dingleberry, in theory. Yeah, in theory. Stingray is supposed to be used with a warrant, but in New York they do it randomly. I mean, of course. And that's we had this software on those laptops, so we could turn them on, we could turn the cameras on, we could lock them down. So when people stopped making their payments, we could put little messages on the screen to tell them to call us and everything. And if we had that technology back in, when was that? That would have been about 2008. What did the cops have access to? And we had these policies we were supposed to go through to use it, and we completely ignored it. Anytime that they were a day late and we were turning on their camera trying to see where they were. One time we turned on a guy's camera and he was in the Wendy's around the corner. And literally he was within a block. We could have walked down there. And this guy was like 3 or 4 months late. He was about to charge off. He was about to get a free laptop. And we caught him at the Wendy's around the corner. We jumped in the car. And I didn't. The other guy was working. We jumped in the truck and ran around there. Walked into the Wendy's and repossessed his laptop from him. It was sort of a fun moment. But if we could do that then, and we would break the rules to do it, the cops are doing it. Yeah. But anyway. Well, this is at 82 minutes, guys. You can buy it. You can buy it now. It will never be illegal because the alphabet gangs use it. What was that getting at? FISA has only ever denied one warrant, and it was probably on the judge. NSA has had the ability since we had the technology. Yeah, apparently the NSA, they can just look at anything and everything. Yeah, the secret court. It's not if it's secret, it's not a court. That's a court is public. A court can be verified and observed, and if it's secret, it's not a court. I don't think divorce proceedings should be secret, and I've been through a messy divorce, let alone national. Well, I don't know. I have a big problem with a secret court. Ogre Dad, the first time I blew it off, but when I got advertising from face to face about something I had never, we'd never searched this stuff online. Hey, Bill, what is CBD oil? The dog is doing well. We got some antibiotics in him. The swelling went way down. The wounds look like they're scabbing over in a healthy way. They're not angry and red. They have Hillary's emails. Everyone has Hillary's emails. Hey, Tobacco Road, good luck. Have fun with your son. Is it that's what I was thinking, Chief. If it was some sort of cannabis thing. Yeah, oil made from cannabis. All right, good night, Tobacco Road. And Tobacco Road's been with us for a long time, too. He goes way back. Him and Track Rock. If you guys ever see Track Rock, all the HTC. Oh, so you can get it. It's not like regulated, Biddy. Oh, you're down here in Georgia. It says cannabis on it is. Hey, good night, Gun Fan. Appreciate you, brother. Cannabis oil makes all of the cells in one's body immediately act accordingly. That seems useful. All right, Patty, good night. Wait, Patty just said he had to go see a guy about a dog. That means you're going down to the bar to get a beer, right? It is just a herbal supplement, okay. Bad cells imploded. Body acts as it should. It is legal in all 50 states. Okay, we'll take a look at it. Someone had said something about lavender. Someone had mentioned a certain type of honey, a manuka honey, which I've never heard of before. But anyway, he's good. Now the issue is hemming him in, so he can't get out and get back up there. And I'm thinking about a wireless, shock collar. David mentioned it actually. My mom's dog has recovered from pancreatic cancer. Really? Wow. Well, we'll look into it. Do you put it on the wound, Bill, or is it like a supplement? That Nixon guy, David. I have such a love-hate thing with Nixon. There's things I love about him, and there's things I just get oral. Okay, Bill, so it's a supplement. Okay, you feed it to him orally. There's things I can't stand about that guy. Nixon did OSHA. Nixon did the EPA. Biddy says under the tongue. What else did Nixon did a HUD? He did wage controls, and he was a socialist. But then he hated communists, and he fought communism at every turn, and he did détente, and he really set the stage for the fall of the Soviet Union. And I don't know. Nixon is this love-hate thing for me. I think Texos. Texos isn't on here right now, but Texos is a really big JFK fan. Cannot overdose either. It's like vitamin C. Body gets rid of what it doesn't need. Okay. I just love the juxtaposition between those two guys, Nixon and Kennedy. There's a couple of topics that I'm just fascinated by, and one of them is the French Revolution. Anything I run across about the French Revolution, I inhale. And the other is Nixon. I read a lot about Nixon for some reason. Just a fascinating character. But if I start talking about Nixon and the French Revolution, we will go from 28 people down to 1, me. Alex Jones. What was that Alex Jones stuff? Alex Jones cracks me up. They're putting stuff in the water that turning the freaking frogs gray. Gray frogs. It sounds like a national emergency. How many knew that Hillary Clinton's first job in politics was working for Richard Nixon? I did not know that, and I consider myself something of a Richard Nixon fan. That's amazing. I knew she was like a college Republican or a young Republican or something for a while. I did not know she worked for Nixon. Oh, I think I did know she was a congressional staffer. Did she work for Nixon in Congress? That would be insane. Because he was huge on the House Un-Americans Activities Committee. Hey, Michael, good night, brother. Thank you for stopping in. I watched the biography on her. That's insane. I'm going to have to look that up. Because if Hillary Clinton did work for the House Un-Americans Activities Committee and then became Hillary Clinton, that would just be too... No, she worked on his campaign. Okay. Was she a volunteer or was she a staffer? And was this a president? This would have been a presidential campaign, right? Because she would have been in Illinois and his congressional campaigns would have been in California. Can you believe Richard Nixon came from California? Southern California at that. Hey, Elk Hound. It's good to see you. I haven't noticed your comments in a while. The root cellar is... the root cellar. Staffer, she was fired for corruption. Wow. She is evil, Chief. The root cellar, Elk Hound, is stalled out, but it's about to get started again. I've started filling in a corner that I dug too deep. If you saw that video, I had rented a backhoe, and for some reason I went like 3 feet deep on one corner versus the others. So I'm filling that corner back in, and as soon as I get that corner filled in, which should be, well, I don't have an excuse for it not to be this week, but except that I'm burning more firewood than I had prepared for in this cold weather, so I need to cut some firewood. But as soon as we get that hole filled in, then I have to decide if I'm going to do a perimeter frame or if I'm going to pour a whole slab. And that just depends on how much it's going to cost to pour the slab. I would like to have the slab, I think. Well, what did Nixon say? Nixon said, with everything he did wrong, God used him to help Israel. Yeah, that's the other thing he did really well. He helped Israel. But then Kissinger was always trying to sabotage Israel. Which I never got because Kissinger was Jewish. Yeah, El Countdown. But I'm trying to make it sound like I'm working on it, and the truth of the matter is I took about a year and a half off to build bunk beds, and the bunk beds are fine. I wish the girls in there sleeping, I'd actually walk in there and show you my bunk beds. I'm really proud of them. All the wood was cut right here on the place, and my father-in-law has a sawmill, and so you've probably seen the sawmill in the background a couple times. He keeps it here. His goal in life, his dream in life, is to be a farmer and a logger, but he lives on 1/10 of an acre in the city limits, so he fulfills his dreams out here. So we sawed up all the logs and we got the lumber, and it's 4x4s and 2x6s and real ones, rough cuts. Hey, thanks, Richie. It's all dadoed, and I mean the house could collapse and those bunk beds wouldn't move. Literally, I mean, the bunk beds could hold up the house. Jeff Chechen, not sure that's how to spell his name, but he just made it illegal to buy one joint from. Oh, Sessions. Yeah, Sessions rolled back some Obama era policies that have the whole legal pot industry in a little bit of a turmoil. Although it sounds like he's not gonna. Dreams lived in any portion are dreams realized. I like that. I've never heard that. That's a neat quote, Elkan. But we're gonna get that done. If you saw the Guns and Gear corner video, we cleared that whole corner out, and we have hundreds of pounds of sweet potatoes stacked up in that corner. And I'm not kidding. Hundreds of pounds of sweet potatoes. It is impossible for us to eat all these sweet potatoes that we grew this last year. And we didn't have a huge giant field of them. We put in a lot of slips, maybe 75 slips. But we got so many sweet potatoes. Medical pot card equals no gun rights. I did not know that. I have to get this root cellar done. I have to have somewhere to store food. If we want to grow our own. Hey, I can tease a video. Mariah's going to start a video this week about her and I don't know if we're going to have the kids do it or not, but her and I are going to go a whole week eating nothing but food that we've grown right here on the place for 3 dozen potatoes. Chief, you can have as many potatoes as you want, sir. And if you be careful, you ask for 3 dozen because these are giant sweet potatoes. But we're going to go a whole week with only eating food we've grown right here on the place. We have a lot of food stored. I'm not sure how much chicken we have put up, but it should be a fair amount. They're requesting that those that get the medical card hand in their firearms. Wow. Yeah, Hillary runs free, but don't you dare smoke weed. You are exactly right, Teen. That's nuts. There's a big push to get veterans on disability, and some of the speculation behind why is because they want to get as many veterans as possible on some sort of mental disability, and then have some legislation that says, oh, we're going to take guns away from folks with diagnosed mental issues, and then you've disarmed a bunch of veterans. So that's something to watch out for. Yeah, Cheryl, the VA is not vet friendly. Fortunately, I don't have to deal with them. He's almost the most disappointing attorney general yet. Vets can't have guns. What do you mean, Abe? Yeah, I think sweet potatoes will make vodka. Hey, Kevin, you're still here. Good. Really pushing PTSD at the VA. Yeah, they're really pushing PTSD at the VA right now because they're thinking at some point they can get this mental health thing pushed through to take away your guns, and then they can disarm the veterans. Yeah, they're looking through backlogs. Oh, just agreeing. Okay, Abe. pot does affect your thought process and coordination. Yeah, I'm actually for legalization of all drugs. I think it's a bad idea. I just think it's where our country's at. We can't enforce drug laws anymore. I've never smoked pot. I don't have a big problem with it. Hey, Boiler's back. I just sometimes I hear some of the claims about what pot can do, and I roll my eyes a little bit. I've seen some guys, you talk about how it's, people tell you it's not addictive. As soon as you stop smoking, the effects on your mind go away. I've seen some guys wreck their lives on pot. Yeah, Ogre, I don't have an issue with pot, period. It's not a miracle wonder drug. Hey, El Count, good night. Thanks for stopping in. It's good to see you. Thanks for reminding me that I have to get this root cellar done. I really need that kind of account. Yeah, I don't have a problem with pot. I've never smoked it myself, but if you do, no big deal. It just fix Nick's. Yeah, they're going after. Yeah, Dean, the Texas shooter haven't got through the system. Ogre says it does affect you. They really want to disarm vets, and I mean, from their standpoint, it makes sense. I mean, I would too if I were them. But it's what government always does, right? There are 13 who are dual citizenship with Israel. The House of Representatives has 112. U.S. citizens are not allowed dual citizens. Why this? It goes back to all that World War II stuff, David. And the homeland for the Jews after the Holocaust and everything. Did you inhale? The government comes with money, and they say, "Here, take our money," and then they throw this pocket change at you, and then expect you to. I'm really looking at the background of the house here, and I'm thinking, "Oh no, I don't want them to see that." And then they take something precious from you for their 30 pieces of silver. Yeah, Richie, you're right. They'll hold you up. That's one of the things I like about having a concealed carry permit or a weapons carry license is you can skip that background check. That's worth it. Hey, Michael, good to see you back. Since we're talking to friends here, and this is some of the closest friends of the channel. I've debated back and forth about this accepting donations thing. On one hand, it's very, very humbling and gratifying. Hey, Speedy, how you doing, brother? That you guys want to, that there's guys who want to come alongside and be a part of what we're doing here. I have a few reservations at this point. First is that, just the American in me. I just want to earn ad revenue that comes from my I won't call it labor because this isn't labor. I love this, but my efforts, and the idea of donations, and maybe it's just the term donations. It kind of rubs me the wrong way just a little bit, and I know none of you mean it in that way. I'm not talking. Your minor was boobs. I'm pretty sure that was his major, David. So I have toyed around, with accepting some donations. We've had some very generous offers from some very kind people. The other thing is that not to get too self-revelatory here, but I have to make sure that I stay working. And if the channel ever got to the point where it was generating enough income for me to stop working, stop having an outside job. I'm not a self-motivated guy. I'm a guy who needs some external motivation. So if it was bringing in enough income that I would be, would I be able to quit that? What's with all these blue wrenches? Hello, WCam. How you doing, brother? Hey, WCam. I stopped in on your live chat the other night, and I said, "Oh, that's cool. I should see how to do that." And I was just trying to figure out how to do it tonight. And it went live on me, and a bunch of people stopped in. So you started something here. So all this is your fault. But back to the donations. All that being said, we may at some point open it up. I realize that where the conservative channels are right now, we can't earn revenue the normal way. And there are some fun, cool things, interesting, valuable things I think I could do with the channel with some more resources, and some more time to be able to focus on it. So that's where to say what I'm saying is that's where we're at, is we're nowhere. We're a little bit closer to maybe accepting. Yeah, Pastor Joe is on Patreon, Jimmy, and I thought about that. If we did that, I would not have any exclusive content behind a paywall, except to maybe direct communication with those donors. Hey guys, thank you, we appreciate what you've done. This, that, and the other. But never do the live chat thing. So I don't know. We're toying around with it. That's a good point, Boiler Room. That's a real good point. Actually, that's the best argument I've heard for it. Who am I to tell these people that they can't do something that's been put on their heart? Oh, is Patreon going to the dark side too soon, Dean? I'm not saying that would necessarily be the way we went. I don't know what the best way would be to do it. I just know that there's some fun things we could do. And God, it just makes me angry because when we monetized like 2 months before the whole thing hit the wall with the money, and I was shocked at the money we made that first month and the growth we were experiencing. And then Reverend Alex THD, if anything on Patreon, I can at least be sure to know when you put up content. YouTube keeps playing with my notifications. That's a good point, Reverend. Biddy can't even get into her account and they keep taking her money. Oh, who did they boot? Yeah, YouTube does it. They demonetize like crazy. And I tell you who they demonetize for us. They demonetize Mariah all the time. If Mariah puts up a video, you pretty much guaranteed it's demonetized. They've let a few of hers go, but not many. Yeah, are you on Patreon, WCAM? If you are, I'd like to hear your opinion on it. WCAM, for those of you who don't know, is a real big supporter of the small channels. He came alongside this channel early on. I mean, early on, and was an encouragement, and is no supporters. What? Your channel's really grown lately too, WCAM. You've jumped up a lot. Yeah, Boiler Room. YouTube is definitely on the dark side. I think Google owns YouTube, Abe. Have you lost your password, Biddy? So y'all check out WCAM. He's West Coast Alternative Media. He talks a lot about California and some of the things happening over there. But he's always been real good about coming alongside others and bringing them along. It's to support the. I'm sorry, hold on a second, guys. It's to support the channel. You can use some of the money to keep teaching those who don't know what you're showing. Yeah, Richie. And Google owns it, Kevin says. Oh, it says it's sending to cell. I don't have a cell. Oh, and you probably have to log in to change that, and you can't log in. I just wait it out. Just don't go to Cabela's. They make you wait too long for no good reason. Yeah, seed money from the CIA and the NSA. I did not know that. Well, WCAM, we're trying. There's a hunger out there, I think, for people to hear. I couldn't afford to keep the cell, and now you can't get rid of the Patreon. I think there's a hunger out there for people to feel normal. People who want to clock out, people who think there's something wrong with the world, and they want to isolate you and make you feel like you're the weird one, you're the crazy one, because you think there's something wrong going on and you don't want to be involved. And I think people just like, to come see someone else and say, oh, that guy's way weirder than I am. That guy's crazier than me. Which you see these marriage videos I'm putting up right now. They may be up already. I don't know. Chief's got no cell servers within 5 miles. Yeah, your messages aren't posting now. I saw that one, Dean. I don't know what else didn't go, obviously. Yeah, several California residents and Ogre Dad, you moved out of California, right? Or you live near California? But and then WCAM is all up in California. The CEO of Google is married into the family of the women that's now the CEO of YouTube. Huh. Gene's you're not seeing them on your end. Well, get your head out of your ass. Don't be looking at your end, Dean. I'm sorry. No, okay, Ogre Dad does live in California. All right. Ogre Dad lives in California. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do multiple things at once. And I was just laughing at my own joke at Dean. I don't get jokes in on Dean too often. I'm seeing them on my end. It means your head's in your ass, Dean. Okay. Yeah, Google and YouTube. Yeah, Biddy, you know what I think YouTube's trying to do? Google lost money buying YouTube. They make all their money from rich leftists paying millions to silence the right on here. But I'm making my own brown crowns for you. I think what they want to be is they want more so than controlling the money. They want what the money can buy, which is influence, and they want to go back to those times. Poobs were mentioned. Dean is blinded by the sight. As they want to go back to the old age of the big, for the NBC, CBS, ABC controlled. Hey, Abe, that's the hope. Controlled the whole narrative, and now Alphabet, Google, Alphabet, Facebook, and maybe Apple. They want to be the new big three and be able to control the narrative. And they're willing to give up a lot of revenue because they do give up a lot of revenue. Demonetizing me demonetizes them. That's an opportunity for them to earn ad revenue. But they want what the money can buy, which is power. And if they could get the power without the money, they're more than willing to give up the money. And silencing you guys is power. Anyway. All right, folks, I think we're going to wrap this up, not because I wouldn't keep talking. I'll keep talking all night, just mostly because I'm afraid I'm going to bore you guys to tears and lose an audience. But we appreciate you. This has been a lot of fun. Even when they demonetize your video, the ads still run and they still get... That's true, David, and that drives me nuts. Hey, Born, see you, brother. Speedy, Disney is buying Fox. Yes, I saw that, and I think that's exactly what that's about. 600 people run everything on the earth. We are fooped. Thank you, Biddy. Let us know ahead of time before you go. Yeah, I'll start scheduling it, Chief. We might even come up with a schedule. We'll see. I have to be careful, though. I would spend a lot of time on YouTube because I love hearing my own voice. I love interacting with you guys. And I've got to be careful not to take away too much time from the family. So I've tried to step back from the comments a little bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Dean mentioned something. Good night, Cheryl. You stay warm too. Check out One America News. Okay, Ferdinand, I'll look into it. Thank you, Dean. But anyway, there we go. We love you guys. Appreciate you. And we'll talk to you soon, and we will schedule another one of these. I'm not sure what the schedule will be. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be weekly or not. Good night, Kevin. What's going on in biblical families? I haven't been able to check in lately. Good night, Chief. Good night, Biddy. So there we go, guys. We'll let you know before. And Jim Beer, hey, how you doing? But I didn't know you were on here. Good to see you. Y'all take it easy. Good night, William.